Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today I've got a PDW review. I'm reviewing the MP7. This is a very cool little submachine gun, high rate of fire, very compact, and it's pretty cool looking. Now, because this weapon does fall into the PDW category, it can be used by any class. One of the few classes that I find makes the best use of PDWs would be the recon class if you're not in the mood to snipe or you want to be an aggressive recon using, say, an MAV and some sort of automatic weapon at the same time, then you would be going for a PDW. Now, the MP7 has a fire rate of 950 rounds per minute, which makes it pretty much the second fastest firing gun in the game. There's a lot of guns that fire at 900 rounds per minute, and then the FAMAS firing at 1,000 rounds per minute. Well, this is 950, so it's got an extremely high rate of fire. Now, when you first unlock this weapon, you're only going to have a 20-round magazine, and that's going to make it pretty hard to use, especially with such a high rate of fire. You're going to shoot through your magazine in about 1.5 seconds, so you don't have a lot of combat time with the weapon initially. However, after you acquire 60 kills with the weapon, you will unlock the extended mag, which ups the bullet count in the magazine to 40 rounds, and that's going to help out a lot. Now, one of the more interesting things about the PDW class of weapons is that the damage between the guns fluctuates pretty greatly, as opposed to, say, the assault rifle weapons, where they pretty much all do the exact same damage per bullet, except for the G3A3. With the PDWs, almost all of them do different damage per each bullet, and the MP7 does 20 damage maximum and 10 damage minimum, with a fall-off range of 50 meters. Now, in close quarters, and by close quarters I mean about 10 meters and closer, this gun is going to take about 5 rounds to take down an enemy, where most assault rifles still take about 4 rounds to take down an enemy. So this gun isn't going to be out-damaging most of the assault rifles. It does, however, have an extremely accurate hip fire, so when shooting from the hip, you're going to have a faster reaction time than most assault rifles in close quarter situations. You'll probably also be pulling off a lot more headshots from the hip, especially if you equip a laser sight, as that will make your hip firing accuracy extremely high. And on top of which, at full auto, this gun has one of the lowest recoils of any of the PDWs. Well, the lowest vertical recoil anyway. The side to side is still a little much, but in terms of vertical recoil and keeping your targeter at that perfect headshot level, it's going to be much easier to do that with this PDW than any of the other ones. Now, unfortunately, this gun doesn't have an extremely low reload time. In fact, some assault rifles have a lower reload time than this weapon, and that's unfortunate because I feel like to balance out this weapon a little better, a lower reload time would really benefit, and especially watching the animation, the reload seems extremely simple to do, easy to do, and something that you wouldn't struggle with, like a bullpup design, which is supposed to take a little bit longer to reload. This seems like an extremely simple handle reload. In fact, it should have a pistol reload time, since it's basically the exact same configuration, having the clip or magazine in the handle of the gun. Now, the actual reload time is 2.4 seconds when you have a bullet left in the chamber, and 2.7 seconds when you fired all of the rounds. Now, fortunately enough, the iron sights on this gun are pretty usable. In fact, I like them quite a bit. I end up going for a sight on most weapons just because I really do like that red dot accuracy. But with most PDWs in this game, they have pretty reasonable iron sights, so you can start off getting headshots right off the bat without too much difficulty. I wouldn't recommend any sort of zoom scope with this weapon. It just does not maintain damage or accuracy well at long ranges. And just keeping it to a regular hollow scope, no zoom or iron sights, you'll probably get the best use out of this weapon. One of the unfortunate downsides of this weapon is that it seems to consume a lot of ammo because of its extremely high rate of fire, and having a slightly larger magazine size, you will expend a lot of ammo, probably more than you need to in most situations, and then find yourself lacking. If you're the kind of person who likes to switch to other weapons and whatnot, that can work out just fine, but if you like to stick with the gun that you spawn with, you're either going to have to play support or make sure you got somebody dispensing ammo for you. Now, again, to go over this weapon's performance at long range, it has a very slow bullet speed, so time to target is going to be slower than most guns, which makes its range also far less, and its damage drop-off goes all the way down to 10 damage at 50 meters. So if you're shooting at somebody over 50 meters away and you don't score any headshots on them, it's going to take you 10 shots to kill them if they're at 100% health. So it's not a very realistic gun to use at long range. If you're equipping this gun, prepare to use it in close to medium range distances. Now, an unfortunate aspect of this gun, and in fact most of the PDWs, is that you cannot equip any sort of barrel modification without getting rid of your extended mag, and unfortunately guns like this are just not going to perform well unless you have an extended mag equipped. This gun is very hard to use with 20 bullets in one magazine. And in game modes like Team Deathmatch, where you're really going to be getting a lot of close quarter action, then having a silencer is really going to help out and keep you off that mini-map, your enemy's mini-map, so they can't spot you. And it would be great if somehow DICE allowed you to equip a silencer and an extended mag. Like, I would be more than willing to sacrifice, say, the laser sight for a silencer and extended mag, but unfortunately you cannot combine the two. That about does it for this weapon review, guys. If you want to check out the MP7, I recommend trying it with the recon class for making more of an aggressive recon, or perhaps the support class if you want something that can really run and gun and dispense ammo, claymores, all that kind of stuff. You can create kind of a nasty little class using this gun. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.
That's how we do Level Cap.